Marjorie Taylor Greene is on her I'm Different Now tour, which would lead interviewers to say, how? And if you are different now, not as toxic, she's decided that which I credit her with speaking against Trump for sure, but she's decided that she should be the spokeswoman for lowering the tension, depoliticizing things a little bit. We're a little bit too divided. And it's like, okay, hey, you've been one of the most divisive figures, but all right. What would any rational person say you should start with? The Woman in the Mirror. You ever heard that song? I'm starting with the Marjorie Greene in the mirror. That's me. It's a different version of the MJ song. And that's where you start. You got to recognize how you've played into the toxicity. And she did it like one time, and now when she gets asked in interviews, she literally storms out. Watch. It'll take a second, but eventually she just ends the interview because the interviewer is saying, hey, can you contend with the divisiveness you've contributed to our political discourse?
Ma'am, I want to ask you just a couple last questions. I always want to be respectful of your time. You have said in this interview in so many words, and you've said in other interviews, including on CNN just a few weeks ago, you said you want to move past what you called the toxic politics of our modern system. You yourself have a history of making sometimes controversial comments. Looking back, do you feel like you have anything personally to apologize for and possibly contributing to that discourse?
This seems to be the popular question from...
So I actually had Jaden Google toxic politics, and this came up.
Kiss my ass.
No, but that you gotta, if you're gonna do the I'm different now, I'm independent. She's not saying like independent in the political sense, but that she's no longer just a Trump suck up. It actually does have to start with you, I think.
To apologize for and possibly contributing to that discourse?
This seems to be the popular question from everyone that is interviewing me, and I've very much already addressed that. I don't think it has to be said over and over again in every single interview I do, but I'm sincere in my words. I think that America has been ripped apart by both sides of the aisle with toxic politics, and it comes from both parties and members of both parties. We see it in fundraising emails. And not only have I been a part of it, every Republican has and every Democrat has. I've also been a victim of it, just as many others have been victims of it. And so I think it's important for each person to take responsibility for their own action and words. And I think that responsibility falls on every single one in leadership. We have real problems in America. We have a $38 trillion debt. We have...
So again, she voted for a bill that ballooned the debt in part because of tax, because of the rich. So it's just, you know the saying, words are cheap, talk is cheap, action's expensive, I think is how it goes. Is that how it goes? Maybe there's not a part two. And dog bite. Don't just bark, I guess. But you hear me, right? Does that make sense, Jaden? Mm-hmm. Cole?
Not at all.
We got to see it in your actions, and you voted for all this terrible stuff. We have a big debt. True. Sorry, I'm being mean. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to do a more fun accent. It came out mean. I think it was accurate, but it was mean. So, you also have so much to apologize for. So it's not, I'm going to show you the part where she leaves the interview, obviously, eventually. But here's the one time I've seen where she actually apologized.
You posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie.
I love how, okay, she's that trucker, but I love how she says, something I've thought about a lot when it was like this. She was out there, rah, rah, and then it's, I just think we need to lower the temperature. Okay, all right. No, I understand, like, the Kirk thing could have been the Kirk murder could have been a wake-up call for her. I feel like I remember her being toxic after that, but one interview where you say, I'm sorry, vaguely, I'm sorry I participated in the toxicity of politics. It's not crazy for other interviewers to want to have you lay out, like, what do you mean? Would it be saying that Biden's not a president, he's a piece of shit? Would it be peddling some of the most dangerous conspiracy theories in the history of our country, including ones that cause people to violently attack the Capitol and Trump engage in schemes to prevent the peaceful transfer of power after you had posted a video saying we can't allow for the peaceful transfer of power? Would it be that specifically? Because if you're not specific, I think you might be just going, yeah, I mean, we all play into it. Now let's move on. I want to hear you say what exactly you did. Wow, that sounded so aggressive. Not to me. I mean, you do you. I'm just saying, for people to think it's legitimate that you've actually changed in some way, you're going to have to demonstrate a little bit more than one interview. You kind of apologize.
A young generation that looks to the future and doesn't have a lot of hope as they're struggling with jobs and housing. Social Security is going to become insolvent in just a few years in 2033. That affects every single one of us. So I think in the political industrial complex that has built on two parties that only know how to fight each other, it's time for people in politics to take it serious and realize that it's time to put the American people first.
You used an expression, taking responsibility for your words. I know that you've mentioned here in this interview, President Trump calling you a traitor was a breaking point for you. In the past, you've tweeted, you called Republican Congressman Bob Good a traitor. You called some Republicans who voted for
Oh, shoot! I had seen the beginning and I've seen the end where she leaves. Oh, he brought the receipts? Oh, I see why she got mad. Okay. Again, we're just waiting. I'm not trying to do the YouTuber thing where I'm like, wait for the good part. And I start saying, like, click the subscribe button, please. Like button, comment, subscribe, 50%. Aren't subscribed. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy. And you got to wait until the end. I'm genuinely not. I'm just saying that this is chronological. So it's the end of the clip where she leaves, obviously.
Republican Congressman Bob Good a traitor. You called some Republicans who voted for President Biden's infrastructure bill traitor Republicans. You've used that language too. Do you regret that?
Yes, I've already addressed this before, and I'll stand with what I've already said. I've also been the victim of it. I was actually accused by Democrats online of being the pipe bomber on January 5th, which was such an outrageous, dangerous...
Sorry, that's so mean. I didn't know that. I thought people were saying that as a joke. Did people seriously say that? I remember people saying that. I didn't realize they were being serious. That is dangerous. That is really dangerous. But there's something funny. No, not funny. Something notable about going, I wasn't the pipe bomber. Like, hey, Marge, you want to do some introspection as to why people thought that could even be possible? Because you were posting saying, don't allow the peaceful transfer of power. Your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. Woman in the mirror. Don't come to my window before you've looked in the mirror. Ever heard of it? I haven't. You gotta be some type of person for people to go, do you think she put bombs at the RNC and DNC? It's not your fault, though. That is dangerous. It's not your fault.
Fly that brought death threats on me back in 20...
Okay, I didn't know she was about to say that. I'm sorry. That's terrible. No one should do death threats. Y'all know I believe that. You know what I'm saying. As I said in the last segment, we do our best to make fun out of the things that are tough. Death threats are not funny.
21 and 22. I've also been used many times and called a traitor by Democrats in fundraising emails and campaign ads. So again, I want to reiterate, this is a two-way street, and I seem to be the only one willing to take responsibility.
Wow.
And Congresswoman, in fairness, what we've asked
That's because I have never been as divisive as you, so I don't have to take responsibility like that. I've taken responsibility for being too nice, for being too generous. I've taken responsibility for all sorts of things. Now it's your turn. No, I'm kidding. What have I done? Let me think. What have I done that's been too divisive? It's just we've always structured the show to try to be like the whole start of the career was going and talking to Trump supporters. So I've never felt dehumanizing like she has, or I've never called for the overthrowing of elections like she has. I've probably called people mean things. I've called her a traitor. But what do you call someone who tries to overthrow an election? No, see, but I'm doing it. Okay. I think that I actually have always admired, and this sounds like a joke, but I'm serious, have always admired how into fitness she is. She like does very hard workouts. She's posted them. CrossFit. I've tried CrossFit before. Have I? I don't know. Maybe. I've tried things like it. It's so hard. It's very hard. I'm the guy who's like going to the gym, bench press. Let's go get some food, you know? It's like you work out, but it's not like my whole body's about to fall apart. But CrossFit will do it to you. I admire that. I think that I always thought that her boyfriend kind of had a fun, like, allergic reaction look going on his face that I always thought was cute. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I always... Ow, my neck. I think that I think that he's probably nice. Not to me, not to the world, but to you. I think that you have the capability for change. That I admire that about people. For example, I used to be with women. No. Okay. No. Sorry. And then someone. No, sorry. I was gonna make a gay joke. Okay. No. You have the capability for change. Like I always thought it was really admirable that you noticed that your Confederate flag cooler was in your camera shot, and then you moved it out of it to not let it be in the camera shot anymore. I thought that was good. I always liked how you were fearless and bold, unapologetic. See, like how you posted honoring Confederate soldiers at a monument, thinking it was for Confederate soldiers and it was for Union soldiers, and you just didn't even apologize. You stuck with it. Like I love the stick with it mentality, right? Stick to your guns. You shot a lot of guns. You stick to your guns in the sense that you have a lot of them. I always admired that. And so there's lots of things that I think that could cross the political divide. That was fun.
Fairness, well, we've asked Democrats as well. We ask everybody about their past stances and past statements. But we would be remiss if we didn't ask you about this. You say you're taking responsibility for it. I just want to be really clear.
You honored January 6ers by doing whatever the heck this was. Look at that photo. Wow. Like, that's kind of divisive to say people who violently tried to overthrow the lawful election are heroes. A little divisive, no?
Do you apologize for saying those things?
I've already addressed this. I said it on CNN. I've said it back in 2020, and thank you. I've already addressed it.
Could you address it here again, though? And if not, why not?
Thank you. I've already addressed it.
Ma'am, I don't want to dwell here, but I don't think you have addressed it here. If it's something you regret, I mean, could you just explain why you don't want to say it again?
I'm sorry, but I don't know why you have this motive. I don't quite understand it, but I've already addressed.
I don't know why you have this motive. Like, I said that I'm sorry for being divisive, and you asked how were you divisive, and it's like, what motive do you have?
And people have thanked me, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. But this isn't an exercise that I should have to go through on every single interview, and it's quite unbecoming of you to continue to have to push that.
Ma'am, some people would argue that saying colleagues were traitors was unbecoming. I don't think this is an unreasonable question.
Again, this is the toxic nature that I'm talking about, and now you're participating in it yourself here with 11 Alive. And so again, I think you should take responsibility of your own words, the product that you're producing here on your network. I've done my part, so I think it would be good for you to do yours.
Well, ma'am, these are your words, but it seems like we're not going to get any further here. So I do want to ask you one last question.
You know what?
Before we wrap up.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the interview. Hopefully, good luck.
Ma'am, are you going to run again?
And she walks out. So, what the heck is that? I love how it's like, how long has she been? 2021 was her first, so you've been coming on 5 years. 2026 is where I got 5 years. It's 2021. She won in 2020. There's a lot of numbers, and I'm like just doing math, quick math. 5 years. You're going on 5 years in public life. And I'm not even counting the QAnon influencer era. And you've spent all of that time, 4+ years, definitely more than 3. You spent all that time being so hateful, degrading people constantly, ranting about how we shouldn't wear mask with no S at the end, and riling people up and denying election results and saying we shouldn't be transparent, saying Biden's a piece of shit, shooting guns, shoot socialism, shoot AOC, socialism, right? You did all this for years, and you think it's unjustified for people to want you to mention it more than one interview? Like, you didn't even say anything in that. You just said, yeah, I'm sorry I participated. How? But I already addressed it. You didn't know you actually kind of did it in the interview clip I just showed you, which is the only one I can remember where you actually said something like that. So what you're saying is the way that we lower the temperature and become less politically divided is by people one time going, yeah, I guess I'm kind of sorry, for years of damaging content and behavior, and then they don't have to do anything else. No, I think because otherwise, how do we know what is divisive? It would be very informative if you could point out in your own behavior what's divisive, and then that can help us learn with you about this.